I'm here to talk to you about a few new features which have appeared in SET recently, the monitor and the module viewer. I have a SET project here and I have a couple of controllers in front of me, these two. So I'll start with the monitor, and the easiest way for me to do that is to right click on the controller and use the Add to Monitor button from that menu. There we go. The controller appears in our grid view here with all of these parameters. It's chosen these parameters because this template is the one I was using last. You can see we provide a lot of templates for your use. You can also make your own templates. You can modify these and save them, however this works best for you. So I have one controller and a whole bunch of parameters up here. The monitor really comes into its own when I start adding more than one controller. So here I now have two controllers. I could just as easily have 50 or 60 more. And I can add an entire land's worth in one go. So here we have my controllers with the various parameters that my template told it to go and get. Now in this particular one I've got things like the virtual CNC ports, the UDP, hostname and so on and so forth. You can see there's quite a list. These tabs at the top allow me to sort either ascending or descending. I can even filter so that anything that has a connection to a virtual CNC, a connected virtual CNC, I could filter on that. So it's just that one, for example, at the moment. If I want to add a parameter, it's not on that list. That's fairly simple for me to do. Let's say I want to discover on my little site here whether anything has been set up to be a time master already. It's quite simple to go away, grab that parameter, throw it into this screen, and you'll see it adds it for all of the existing controllers in there. And it just so happens that one of my controllers is set up as a time master, as it should be. And again, I could use the filter buttons to go away and just find any controllers that have been set up that way. I can also make changes in here. This is read-write to this window, so let's say I wish to not have that as the time master. I'm going to have that one instead. You can see that the monitor's put these little windows up there that say uncommitted data. It's because I've changed something in this window but not sent it to the controller. I can do that quite easily using this button, Commit All, and it will commit all of the changes that I wanted to send down to the controllers. There are other operations you can do in this window, including conditional formatting. So, for example, if in this column here, if I want to highlight everything that has a non-zero supervisor port address, so let's say is not equal to 0, and I want that to come up in red text. This is a reasonably easy way for me to find anything which has got a non-zero entry in there, so to find every controller with a supervisor port set up. Just one of the uses. I'll now go on to the module viewer, and again we'll do this with a live demo. So now the module viewer is similar in appearance to the monitor as we looked at previously. The module viewer is more intended as a means to look at all of the instances of a particular module in a particular controller. So for this example I'm going to use sensors in this one controller here, so I will go to Add to the module viewer, and I'll just make that a bit bigger like that. So you can see once again the utility has gone away and got a large table of values from the controller and filled them all in. Now in this instance it's got all of the sensors. You can see the sensors listed here and all of the parameters have been predetermined for me in this particular case. I can go away and then once again I can drag things into this view if I think something's missing. I think this is a fairly all-encompassing one, so I don't think there's going to be much missing, but I'll drag something in, and once again it will add that for all of the instances of that module. Now in that particular case you can see we've got the hardware channel 1, 2 and 3 for the first three sensors and inv for the rest, or invalid. That's because all of the rest of these are internal sensors and don't have a hardware channel associated with them. So as in common with the monitor, I can actually export all of this to Excel, or in fact import it to Excel if I wish to be reading or writing this to something outside this particular application. I can also do conditional formatting in exactly the same way as I did with the monitor. I can filter, so let's say for example in this column here I want to look at just stuff which is to do with space temperatures. So if I use the custom button, I can say the label is like, let's say, space star, and there we go. All I get is the space temperatures filtered. I can then go on to perhaps do some conditional formatting in here. So anything that's in alarm, for example, I can make it a different color. So if I go to the conditional formatting button, let's say add a condition, it's equal to that, equal to true. And I want the background color to be quite obvious, so we'll make it red. And there we go. Anything that's got an alarm will come up as that red block there in that particular window. Again, in common with the monitor, I can make block edits in here, so I can send large quantities of data down in one go. So for example, if I want to change all of the high alarm values in all of those sensors, I can do a block edit and change that to 35.5, then commit everything, and it will send all of those down in one go. Done. I'll change all of the low alarms to a consistent value as well. Let's say -5. Send that down too. So there we go, done. I'll go back to looking at everything. I can see, let's see, I'm going to find anything that's overridden. So there is actually a sensor there that's been overridden with a value of 30. So if I take that out of override and commit, and I'll refresh everything in that view. And the value's changed to 20, so it clearly was overridden for some reason. As I said, I can save things in this view to Excel and various other things. I can print them out. Quite a lot of functionality in this particular window. So I hope you find that useful, and I would strongly suggest playing again with the module viewer so that you can get the best out of it for yourselves. Thank you very much for listening, and that concludes this video.